Many men are worried that balding is like a death sentence for their attractiveness. When you go bald, you are perceived as old, decrepit, ugly, and weak. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. In research, on average, people with hair are perceived as somewhat more attractive than people that are bald. However, being bald also has a lot of positive social effects, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can leverage those strengths to turn balding from a weakness into a strength. So what I'm saying is you will go on this healing journey with me so that you can love yourself again. Kinda serious. Bald men are perceived as more dominant than men with hair. The reason for this is probably that we have some intuitive sense of why people go bald. And the reason that most people go bald is androgenic alopecia, which is caused by high levels of DHT in the scalp. DHT, dihydrotestosterone, is a hormone that is made from testosterone. So, on average, people with higher testosterone levels convert more of this into DHT. Normally, testosterone and DHT levels are proportional in men. So, people that go bald more, on average, have more testosterone. And if you think of bald celebrities, for example, you will probably immediately think of high testosterone or highly masculine individuals like Jason Statham, Vin Diesel, and The Rock. That's because there actually objectively is a correlation in nature between testosterone levels and balding. And that's probably why in another study, when they digitally removed people's hair, they were also perceived as more dominant than when they still had their hair. Moreover, they were perceived as taller and stronger. In general, it seems that people that are bald are perceived as being more masculine and having all the corresponding traits that come with masculinity, which is a lot of positive traits in regards to competence and dominance. Now, not everyone looks like The Rock, and many people are like, yeah, you can pull that off if you're The Rock, but I couldn't do that. And that's exactly where people go wrong. If going bald is hurting your confidence and you're kind of trying to mask it with a half comb over, clearly showing that you are afraid of going bald, but it's also not really a full head of hair anymore, then that's probably hurting your social perception, because it signals lack of confidence, whereas if you just go completely bald, that shows that you are confident in it, and it's also associated with norm violation, which is again a highly masculine trait, which is associated with competence, leadership, CEO-like abilities. Indeed, another study from the same research group described individuals with either thinning hair, so like half bald, comb over, or something like that, to completely bald, and when people were described as completely bald, they were also rated higher in dominance, masculinity, norm violation, leadership potential, and strength. So my takeaway from this is as follows. When you're going bald and you don't want to go bald, you can stave off the process for quite some period of time with a lot of pretty well-proven methods. 5-alpha reductase inhibitors like ketoconazole shampoo or finasteride are quite effective. Minoxidil is quite effective, and at some point when that's not enough anymore, you can also do a hair transplant to stave off the process for another period of time. Eventually though, you are still going to lose those hairs, and a hair transplant will also make the pattern a bit more unnatural. And you can read up on those methods in my personal development course. I go into the exact sciences and the application of how to stave off baldness as long as possible. However, the more important point here is to realize that you are going bald and to fully accept that it is just a matter of time before you are balding or completely bald, and to be okay with that. And if you are, and at some point you are essentially too bald to rock a non-bald look, then I would say just shave it, rock that vertex, accept being bald, and confidently embrace your new, more masculine look. If you try to fight it with the half comb over thing and a lot of lack of confidence, then indeed you will probably be perceived as weaker and less attractive. However, if you do it with confidence, research shows that you can actually turn it into a strength in many ways by being perceived as more masculine, more dominant, more leadership material, more CEO-like. So it actually has a lot of positive benefits. So I hope that helps you accept our inevitable journey into baldness. If you like this type of evidence-based content on lifestyle optimization, I'd be honored if you like and subscribe.